With regard to the third request is to a classroom, Captain DiGiovanni.
So that classroom is a multi-purpose classroom. It's used by programs and chaplain services. I cannot allow the use of a classroom. What I can offer is if the defendant is willing, I can move her to a housing unit and place her in a secure cell where no one will disturb her, and she can review and conduct case review. She will still have access to a shower. She will still have access to open day room time. She will still have access to phones, but the review and her location will be in a secured housing location where she would be the only person in the cell.
Ms. Boone?
Captain, is this Lima dorm?
K dorm.
Kilo. So my only options are being moved to the maximum security dorm or my bunk.
K dorm is no longer a maximum security. It's a multi-purpose area with inmates of varying needs being secured and housed there.
So it is not the maximum dorm any longer.
That's correct.
And I'm unable to utilize the classroom for an hour or two per day while it's dark the entire?
That's correct.
And if I may ask, other than it being accessed on a rare occasion of the 2 classes that do participate in that classroom, why is it that I'm unable to sit and be viewed by the officers at all times in my dorm comfortably to be able to utilize the phones on a regular basis, the day room on a regular basis, to be able to go outside to recreation, to have just for fresh air? How is that? I'm not understanding specifically why the reason is it has to be so extreme from going to being locked behind a door 24 hours a day to not being able to just utilize the classroom for an hour or two per day.
Ma'am, you will still retain your rights as an inmate and have access to all the services and day room time that you currently have during the same operational hours. And instead of having to move items from a housing area into a classroom where the officer may have line of sight, I cannot guarantee that my officer will have continuous unfettered access to you to ensure the safety and security of that classroom while something may potentially occur in the housing unit. So as a matter of security to the rest of the inmates in the housing unit that you are currently assigned, my staff and the facility, I can make the accommodation where I could put you in a single person cell where you would have unfettered access, uninterrupted access to your case material, and still have my officers in the housing area where if you had a question or you wanted to take your shower during normal day room time, you would be able to do so.
I've been in a situation where I have been behind the closed doors also when I was made PC, when I first got to Orange County Corrections Department. And if it's anything like that, I do not ever want to have that experience again. And to be honest with you, forgive me, Captain, but I do not believe that it would be this simplified. And nonetheless, I'm behind a closed door for 24 hours. Is there anything that I can do, any kind of research or further explanation in order for me to try to still be able to utilize my dorm, which is general population dorm, where I do have friends and I do have some type of comfort there, in order for me to be able to access the classroom? Or simply are my options from working on my bunk or to the extreme of being behind a closed door for 24 hours. Captain?
Judge, I'm going to object to that question. It calls for her to speculate at this point as to what all the other alternatives may be. She's simply here to, responding as to this particular request, and now she's asking her this broad, general question about alternatives.
The objection is sustained.